Hello again, folks, and welcome back to another episode in my Beginner's Guide to Collecting Stamps series. As always, please feel free to share your tips and tricks in the comment section below to help those of us that are starting off on our journey. Before I begin, let me just say it's late at night around here. The kids are asleep. The work of the day is done, and I am very excited to spend some time with stamps. I'm especially excited to show you this album, as it is remarkable. I found it on eBay using the trick I described in an earlier video. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in that sort of thing. And I'm going to let you know right off the bat that it is one of my best finds of all time. Not just in terms of the monetary value, but in terms of the specialness of the item itself. This is a treasure. Somebody, well, I know who, I will share who, treasured this book, and they put together one hell of a collection. And so I thought I would share it in its entirety because it deserves a viewing. But I also wanted to use it as a demonstration for one thing to consider as you go off on your stamp collecting journey. Throughout the Beginner's Guide series, I've talked about the importance of focusing, because there are so many different areas in philately to become interested in. But the more that you focus, the more you personalize your collection, the more you become a specialist and an expert in the field, and you find enjoyment in the little subtle varieties, the little errors, the little the stamps that you might overlook if you weren't otherwise truly immersed in that specific area. So, be it a topic like space shuttles, or a country, or in this case, the reign of King George VI, I truly encourage you to consider focusing in your effort. And with that, let me show you this album. So this is Stanley Gibbons' limited series, limited edition stamp album for stamps during the reign of King George VI. And so what I have decided to do with this, by the way, is simply cherish it. I feel I am preserving this for June because odds are if another collector had found it, they would pull some of the higher denomination stamps out of it, and I will not do so. I think she spent an awful lot of time putting together this beautiful, beautiful collection, and I am not going to touch it. What I'm most amazed by is the condition of the book. You know, when you spend this much time putting stamps, hinging stamps into pages like this, you tend to damage the paper with water, or you can crease the pages. I mean, it looks, the book itself looks pristine and brand new, and I don't know how she managed to do that and put hundreds and hundreds of stamps in here. Oh, there's Cook Islands. I think those stamps are cool. I told somebody recently that I had started a channel on YouTube for stamps. And when they chuckled, I explained that, you know, it's about stamps, but it's about much more than that. And on this channel so far, I have touched on my pride in my city and my town. I've spoken a little bit about how I collect and why. And, you know, a collection is a personal statement of who you are. And stamps is no different. Over time, you are putting together an expression. You can call it a piece of art, and I won't disagree with you. And you're, you know, who June was someone that was obviously very meticulous. And obviously took pride in putting this collection together. And had such love and such joy for it. And I love the image of her slowly watching it come together over time to the state that it's in. And I do wonder what her connection was to the royal family, if there was one. But undoubtedly, I know I'm not alone in saying that the British stamps over the years are some of the most beautifully designed stamps in philately. They are simply gorgeous. And so I'm sure she cherished the artwork, as well as potentially the history. And so, you know, today's video is about how to collect stamps. It's in my Beginner's Guide to Collecting Stamps series. It's also a tribute to June. It's a tribute to the collectors that came before me, and that I'm trying to carry on this hobby, because I think it's remarkable. I probably should have said at the outset to, you know, get a bucket of popcorn and sit back and just enjoy some stamps, because this is going to be a longer video. I'm not going to rush it because it's remarkable, and my purpose is to give tribute. I love Hong Kong stamps. I think they're gorgeous. That one's new. That one's new. These two are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't have those in my collection. So don't get me wrong. It is, when I see things like this, and I know I have a spot for it in my book. Look at the cancel on that one. Just look at the cancel on that one. Isn't that gorgeous? What a beautiful stamp. But I am not going to touch it. And the reason is, you know, I do feel like I'm preserving her effort. Oh, Irish stamps. Simply beautiful. Since it is King George VI, the years are later, and so the values are smaller for the most part. But there are very sought after, nice collectible stamps, even in the 30s and the 40s, and so there are a few. I do think that's a nice set. I don't know offhand, but it certainly looks like one. It also may have made this a more economical collection to pursue. Look at that 5 shilling. Isn't that pretty? I don't know. Maybe I should go ahead and try to fill this out. It would be a lifetime achievement. Maybe I'd put my name underneath June's in 20 years. And by then we'll have completed the collection of stamps during his reign. That's kind of cool. I might have to think about that. Absolutely stunning stamp. I just love that stamp. Just gorgeous. I'll let you in on one of my most magical thinking. My biggest piece of magical thinking. By the way, those are nice stamps. I believe from time to time books find you. I think the book that you're meant to read at a certain period of time in your life, some message that you're supposed to receive, will find you in a book. I know that seems weird, but it's something I have experienced from time to time in my own life. And I feel like that a little bit with this book. I feel like June wanted this collection to go to somebody who will cherish it for her and preserve it. And so that's what I'm doing. So if I had it to do over, if I had the opportunity to start my stamp collecting journey anew, I would find an album like this one. I would pick some topic or area or country that specifically resonated with me, and I would focus my efforts entirely on it until I ran it as far as I could go, or until I took it as far as I could go, and then I'd move on. I was too scattered with my approach early on because I was fascinated by all of it. There are so many things to become fascinated by when it comes to stamp collecting. But what ends up happening is you have a collection then that is pretty scattershot, that is not as well organized as you'd like it to be. And you kind of feel like you're trying to manage chaos almost. Maybe that's my expression that I'm saying with my collection. I feel like I'm managing chaos. So if I could start over again, I would focus, and I think this is a great example of the power that happens, or what you can build over time. Let me do that. So, on a personal note, I had a long day at the office today, and I feel so much more relaxed having just gone through this than I did at the beginning. That is the power of this hobby to me. It is just such a wonderful thing. Well done, June. There you go. That is a remarkable collection. And if I can just summarize it, the purpose of today's beginner's guide to collecting stamps is focus and build over time. That is the biggest key that I could share as somebody who did neither. Because then you can see your collection slowly grow and build into something as beautiful as this. Thank you again for joining me, my friends. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. It does mean a great deal to me. And until next time, take care.